Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about some more list operations with Python. But before we start that, I want to say something really quickly, and that is my school is starting very soon, so I will be posting less frequently, maybe once a week, maybe even not that, because I may not have time. So just stick with me. If I ever post, just be sure to watch it. All right, so let's start off with list functions. So in Python, there are many, I would say, basically vanilla Python functions that don't need any import of module. And those functions will do you pretty good when you're using lists. They're pretty useful. So I think we should just really quickly dive right in. The first few functions you'll see, you may know, they're pretty common, but it may get more and more complex with different implementations of functions later on. So I'm just going to create a list, and then I'll make it 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, okay? And then our first function is probably the simplest to understand, and that is the append function. It's basically append is a fancy word for adding things onto the end of a list. So we do list.append, let's say 4, and if we print list, we get 1, 2, 3, 4 because we've added the item 4 to the end of the list. So that is pretty simple, I feel like. Everyone should get that, right? So this is like simple append, and then let's if we try to append multiple items, we get an error message because you can only append one item at a single with a single function. So our next function is going to be another simpler one. It is the extend function. Extend basically is similar to append, but it is able to append multiple values at once. So if we do list.extend and we put a list inside of the parentheses, so it's do multiple values as you can see here, and then let's print the list, and as you can see here, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 because I've appended multiple items into the list. Now make sure that you have these list brackets or it will not work. Our next function will be the remove function. This function, I think the name says it all. It will remove an item from the list, and all you need to do is to insert the index. So let's do list.remove. And as you can see, we have removed the number 1 here. If we enter 3, as you can see, we've removed 3. Now the pattern for this is that it will remove the very first number that it sees. So let's have a bunch of 3s here. As you can see, it only removes 1 3, not all the 3s. Next, we have insert. And again, this is quite self-explanatory. This time it has 2 parameters, the index and the item. So basically, this will insert a custom item in whatever index you want. So let's do list.insert. Let's say I would be 2, and then our custom item would be 10. We print the list, and as you can see, we have inserted item 2 in now the second position of the list. Next, we have something called pop. This is a Python function that's more used in data design. And this will first remove, okay, it will remove the item at a given index, and then it will print it. So let's do this dot pop and then index 0. And then if we do print list, as you can see, pop is gone. If there is no parameter, so like it's only the parentheses, then it removes and returns the last item in the list. Then there is the clear function, which is probably the easiest one to understand. It just basically deletes everything in the list. There's nothing more to it. It just deletes everything in the list. So that's pretty simple. Next, there is all these functions at the beginning are quite simple, but they can be used to create more complex programs. So you have count, which counts the number of times a specific item appears in the list, right? So print list dot count, let's say 3, and then let's put 3 threes in there. And you can see it returns 3 because there's 3 threes in the list, and I'm trying to count threes. If we add one more 3, it will return 4, and so on and so forth. Right. So that's done. So you can use this to make stacks and queues. I've done 2 other videos on stacks and queues implementation in Python. You can go check them out on my channel as well. So we can move on to something else in Python, another concept called list comprehensions. So a list comprehension is basically a concise way to create lists. Common applications of list comprehensions are to make new lists where each item is the result of some operation applied to that item. Right? So let's say we have a nums list and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? We want to square every single one of these items. Then we can use a list comprehension. So for I in nums, okay, and then we could do I, and then we can do nums dot append I, and then we can print nums. And that's recursive, so that's wrong. Oh, okay, I see. We actually don't need anything in nums. We just need for I in nums. Yeah, okay. We don't need that. Okay, range. Alright, so we can do that. So so what I've done is that I've created an empty list. Then what I've done is that I've created a range so that it repeats 10 times, and then I've squared I as it goes up and it increments and put it into nums, and now we have a list comprehension for squares. Now, a more concise way to do this is to have nums like this and to use a shorter form of list comprehension. So it's sort of the same syntax, just a little different. This will return the same thing, as you can see. It's just another way of doing what I just did with the for loop. So I'm pretty sure I'll put a part 2 to this because there's a lot of things that I can go by, and I don't want to make this like too long. So I think we can stop that. We can end this video for now, and then I might upload a new version of this, or like part 2 sometime later. So yeah, have a good day, guys. I hope you learned something today. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below, comment, subscribe, do what you need to do. I'm hoping that we can hit 50 or maybe even 100 subscribers someday. So thank you. If you have subscribed, if you haven't, go check out that subscribe button. And yeah.